Our government is systematically setting up the game board, their monopoly game board right now, for a total government takeover. You think, whoa, they already have us. No, man, I'm talking a total government takeover. If there's enough incidences all over the United States, and I'm not talking violence, but let's add that in there. Let's talk about forest fires. Let's talk about storm damage. Let's talk about drought. Let's talk about food shortage. Let's talk about violent crimes against your average guy from somebody that's obviously got mental problems. At least that's the way they pitch it to you. How many more shootings do you think we're going to have, mass shootings, before they put the clamps down, folks? And they'll have enough shootings and enough dead people that they could justify it to the average Joe. Does that scare you a little bit? Because it doesn't exactly scare me, but it really makes me wonder. I'm not scared to go into the future. I'm not. I'm prepared for it. I've heard 6 stories in the last 8 days, ladies and gentlemen, of fellow YouTubers and broadcasters and bloggers and vloggers that are being investigated by the DHS or investigated by the FBI for the views they're putting out there in their YouTube videos, or what it is that they're recording to put up on YouTube, or something they said on a blog page. I had a person visit me at my workplace to tell me, and this is ex-military, says that he's repeatedly in his neighborhood see DHS Border Patrol vehicles making random stops in city streets. And I'm not talking major thoroughfares, folks. I'm talking about, like, if you live on the inside of a neighborhood where you got to make a few turns and pick your house out. I'm talking like DHS is rolling on these side streets, just randomly stopping cars, with people in them saying, hey, we want to see your ID. We want to see, what are you doing out here? What are you doing? And I'm sure some of you scary bastards even, they're making it safe. They're making it safe. How many of you were here for last Monday's show? How many of you remember me saying how much we've given up under the guise of safety? That's what this is all about, folks. They're going to take everything from you. Not just you. Me. Us. We, the people. We, the people of the United States of America, are under attack by a rogue government that's trying to turn us into a social or a fascist socialist country, where you're going to have to depend on the government for your housing. You're going to have to depend on the government for your food. You're going to have to depend on the government for your transportation. Sucks. But it is what it is. If you guys go back to my Bubba Kaya YouTube channel and go back to my first few videos I ever did, you'll see me do a message to Barack H. Obama, in which I asked him, does he know what it's like to watch everything he ever worked for slip down the tubes? To know what it's like to crawl to the government for assistance after you spent aching hours fighting against the government, the same government that you're going to crawl to their doorstep and ask for a food card and a government check. I don't think he gets it. Actually, I don't think he gives a shit. His agenda was laid out to him when he was given the position, folks, just like all the presidents. Which reminds me, I did put a new poll up this week. I believe Phil tried to do a new poll Wednesday, and I don't think he did it right. So I went in and kind of made my own poll. The poll is tonight, who would you vote for today? Would you vote for President B.H. Obama? Would you vote for Mitt Romney? Would you give Ron Paul your vote? Or would you be willing to withhold your vote? Because that's what I've chosen to do this year, folks. I'm withholding my vote. I don't think they've given me a candidate that I can trust to give my sacred vote to. I don't see anybody up there that I think has America's best interests at hand. And honestly, folks, would you give something so special as a vote to someone that you honestly don't trust? And I've been bashed for asking this question, but it's a very honest and important question. If you believe something not to be trustworthy or evil, why would you endorse it with something as important as your vote? So many people in this world don't get a vote. I'm one of the people convinced that your vote don't matter anyway. And I get bashed for saying that, and I take no pride in saying that to people. I used to be very proud to walk into a voting booth on Election Day and cast my vote. I thought it was my civic duty as an American to put that vote, to use. But right now, folks, honestly, if the system's legit, I don't see a candidate that's worth my vote. All I saw today on the news was stories about this gentleman. I'm not even going to say his name. I'm not going to emulate him. This gentleman that shot up the temple in Wisconsin. And how much campaign money was raised by Barack Hussein Obama and Mitt Romney. Romney's got him at $101 million, and Obama raised like $79 million. Now, when you're talking figures like that, folks, honestly, do you think I could run for president? What about one of you folks? One of you folks that knows what it's like to be a struggling American, and you really think you can make a difference, and you really thought you want to run for president legitimately. Do you really think you could raise that kind of money? Because that's what our elections, folks, really all we're voting for is who's the biggest fundraiser. Who can grab the most money from donations, and who can grab the most money from lobbyists? Except now that all these people have given you money, and you owe all these favors to lobbyists. So really, it's not the American people whose interests you have in mind. It's the people that put you in office. So how does an American person get his fair shake?